Hello and welcome to the Chordious 2.0 Quickstart tutorial. This video assumes you've already installed Chordious 2.0. If you haven't, go ahead and check back to the Chordious 2.0 installation tutorial video. This video is going to walk through the kind of quickest workflow that most users are going to want to use, which is to search for chords for their favorite instruments, save those chords, and export those diagrams out as image files that they can then insert into their favorite word processor or other programs. So, assume you already have Chordious 2.0 installed, and let's get started. So I'm just going to go to the Start menu here. I'm going to scroll down, Chordious 2.0, go ahead and launch it. If this is the first time you run Chordious, you're going to see this dialog that's going to ask you whether or not you want to turn on automatic updates. My recommendation is yes. If you don't want to check for updates every time Chordious starts, you can click no, and you can always change your mind later in the options, or even check manually. My recommendation is to click yes. That way every time Chordious starts, it will see if there's a newer version and prompt you to update. And that is the easiest way of keeping Chordious up to date as I make changes and add new features and fix bugs. So I'm just going to click yes. Okay, and so here we are on the main Chordious screen. And let's go ahead and start looking for some chords. So I'm going to go over here to the chord finder. As you can see, anytime you put your mouse cursor over something in Chordious, it's going to pop up a little tooltip to explain what it is. And the chord finder is where we're going to go to search for chords for your favorite instruments. So I'm going to click on the chord finder. So there's a lot of options, a lot of things you can do in the chord finder here. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. And we'll go through all of them in another video. The purpose of this video is just to get you started, and we're just going to focus here on these things at the top, right? So we have the instrument you want to use, the tuning for that instrument, the note that you're looking for, and the chord quality name. So for this tutorial, I'm going to take us through just getting a couple of the common ukulele chords. So instrument, you can see you can pick what instrument you want. We're going to stick with ukulele. Tuning wise, we have a bunch of different tunings here, but I'm going to pick Reentrant C, which is the GCEA common tuning that most ukuleles use. And we're going to search for a C major chord, so I'm going to pick C and major. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of other options over here. We'll go over those in a later video, but the default should be just fine. And we're just going to come down to the search button right here and go ahead and click search. And there you go. It just took a second, and Chordious found a whole bunch of C chords on an ukulele. For some users, this is all that you want. You just want to be able to pick your chords and search for them and look through the list and are satisfied with that. For this video, we're going to save some of these chords so you can see what you can do by exporting them as image files, so you can use them elsewhere outside of Chordious. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this C chord. You can select any number. You can use using Control to select multiple, or you can do Control A to select all, just like you would with any file in Windows. But we're just going to select this one C chord right here and click on Save Selected. Right, and you see Save Selected diagrams to the diagram library. So click on that. It's going to prompt you here for the name of a collection. So the way Chordious works is you save your diagrams in collections, and collections you can have as many collections as you want and name them and organize them however you want, and you can move diagrams between them and so on and so forth. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to create a collection called Quickstart Tutorial and click OK. And now that C chord is saved away in that collection. So let's grab a couple more chords. So we've got a C. Why don't we find an F major chord? Search. Okay. Here's a nice F chord. If you play the ukulele, you've probably played this chord. We're going to do Save Selected. As you can see, it defaults to the last collection you used, in this case the Quickstart tutorial. You can always save to a different collection if you want, but we're just going to keep that one for now. Click OK. And then the last chord I'm going to search for is a good old G7. So G7 is a G dominant 7th chord, so I'm going to drop down all these qualities here and scroll up, and there we go, dominant 7th. Pick that and go hit search again. And there are all those G7 chords. So we're going to grab this one, save selected, and save it to the Quickstart tutorial collection. Okay, so now we've saved 3 different chords, 3 different diagrams. We're going to go ahead and close the chord finder. Now to go look at those chords that we've saved off, everything gets saved off here in the library. As you can see, create and manage collections of your favorite diagrams. So we're going to open the library. And we can go ahead and make this window a little bit larger. And on the left-hand side here, you will have all the collections that you've made. In this case, we have just the one, the Quickstart tutorial collection that we just created. And if I click on that, there are those 3 diagrams. So we'll go into more detail in a later video of all the different things you can do here in the diagram library, but right now let's go for the most basic usage, which is to export these diagrams as image files. So I'm going to go ahead and select all 3 here, and I'm going to come down to the bottom. There's a nice little button here, the export button, it's a little black box with a blue arrow coming out of it. So if I click on that, I get taken to the export dialog. Here you pick the path where you want to save those image files. In this case, I'm just going to keep the default, which is the desktop. You can also pick a folder there. We won't worry about all these options, but basically you pick the format that you want the names to be in, because we have 3 different images. They're going to have 3 different files. The default here is to just name them with whatever the title text is. So this C, this F, and this G7 will get 3 different files. And right here, we're going to pick what image format we want to use. The default is SVG. You can see there are other image formats here. If you're going to be importing this into something like Word or any number of programs, your best bet is probably PNG. JPEGs will get a little blurry, GIFs are a little rough. PNG will look almost identical to what you see right here on the screen. So I'm going to select PNG. As you can see, it's saying what the file name is going to be, c.png, at least for that first file. And right here you can use a scale percentage if you want to make it the image is twice as big or 3 times as big, or even smaller. You can go ahead and set that percentage here. I'm just going to leave it at 100 for now and leave overwrite files. There's nothing on my desktop, but if there was, this lets you overwrite things. So I'm going to go ahead and hit export. It's going to go by really quickly, this little progress bar. We only have 3 images, so it's going to be very quick. Click export now. And you can see over here in the desktop, we have 3 image files. So I'm going to double click on one. And there we go, we have c.png. And there's that, it's an image file. I can copy and paste this like any other image file, upload it to the web, insert it into my documents, and then we go over, we have the F, and we have that G7. So that's basically it. We have searched for chords, saved them to a collection, and then exported those diagrams out as image files that we can then put anywhere we want to use them. So that's the basic flow for using Chordious 2.0. It's the one that most people are going to use the most often. And that's basically it for this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave a comment in the comments below, or go to the website and click on the contact link and send me an email. And stay tuned for more videos where I go through more of the power user features that you can use in Chordious. Thank you and stay tuned.